Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to make sure that in case any courts are listening, we talk about what this is really about and why we are really here. Last session, this body and the same members who are pushing this legislation passed a ban on transgender services for kids, including including therapy, treatment, hormones, everything. And this session, they want to come and ban this for adults. But politically, if they just had a bill that says we're banning consenting adults from doing something, that would be bad politically. So this is the end run around that. This is the way to get around a ban on adults getting care. So you tell the insurance companies, well, if you provide this care, we will make sure that you're on the hook for this care into infinity. We have never done that before or anything else. You don't go get heart surgery and says, hey, we're going to make sure that the hospital and those doctors warranty your heart surgery forever. We don't have people tell people to do breast augmentation and say, hey, we're going to make sure that if your insurance pays for this, that if you ever don't like it, you want to change it, you want to go back, whatever it is, that they're on the hook for that too. The reason that they're doing this is to get the insurance companies to stop covering. That is the entire purpose of this, is to say that adults are going to be cut off from one more avenue where they can seek medical care. That is what this is. As much as they want to say this, the trans community did not, has not, and will not ask for this legislation. The few people that came and testified, as Mr. Leach likes to say, they came from far away. Why do they have to come from far away? There's tens of thousands of trans people in Texas. They've always been here. They've always existed. And long before that this became a red meat item for the Republicans, they were already getting care. They were already transitioning. They were already living their lives. They were in your lives. There are trans people in your lives right now that you have no idea that they're trans, because that's the point. Because that's the point of having these services, having these medical care, so they can just live their lives as normal people as best they can, to deal with what they were given, to be happy as possible. And that's all they ask for. Just to be left alone, just to be treated like everyone else. Instead, we cut off their ability to just live. We operate in misinformation. We operate in anecdotes. We don't look at mass data. We don't look at scientific reports. Because if you did look at those, you would see that the rate of regret for trans procedures, even counting procedures done years, if not decades ago, is under 1%. There's higher rates of regret for just about any other type of surgery, any other type of medical care. The regret rate is higher. People worry about having a child, but eagerly voted for the abortion ban that caused so many women now to become infertile because they were forced to carry a baby that was unviable. Mr. Toth worried about people having orgasms, but they were so gleeful last time to try to ban vibrators. And he's worried about people's orgasms. This is beyond hypocrisy. But you know what's not misinformation? What's not information is that the murder rate of trans people in this country has doubled in the last 10 years. Their suicide rate is just as high as ever. Because of this stuff. Because you deciding that having a political target is better than fixing people's problems, is better than leaving people alone, is better than letting people live their American dream.
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Mr. Toth,
I do not yield.
not at this time.
We're doing this to punish an entire community for something happens less than 1%. This is absurd. This is insane. Because right now we have so many other issues that need to be dealt with instead of debating this on the floor. They still have not even heard HB 2 yet. We don't know if our school system will survive this year. We don't know if we're going to have a power grid this year. There's another heat wave coming this week. And all this, we spend so much time beating up on people who have no voice, people who have no power, people who have done nothing to you. And that's the worst part. Time and time again, what this body does is they find the people who are weak, find the people who already hurt, and then you hurt them some more. And then you stomp on them a little more. And then you hold them out to others and say, look at these monsters. Look at these monsters that we've beaten up for you. Time and time again, we have done this, going after different communities. When I first came into this body, the way we deal with trans people right now is the way we dealt with gay people a decade ago. The same things, bills after bills, targeting them, using misinformation, using urban legends, using all sorts of things to demonize people, to scapegoat people, to turn them into monsters because the public doesn't understand. It's so easy and so fun. This body has made a sport of it, an Olympic sport. Y'all should be given medals for how good you punch down. With that, I'm happy to yield.
Mr. Toth, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Gentleman yield for questions.
We yield for questions.
Gentleman yields for questions.
Thoroughly displayed your lack of empathy for kids that detransition, but what I'd like to ask you, Mr. Wu, you'd mentioned
we're not talking
that
about kids
people
here.
come
This
from
is
far
about
and wide.
adults.
You mentioned that detransitioners and desisters have come from far and wide. You know why that is, Mr. Wu?
Because you have to go look for them to come testify against their own community.
Actually,
because you
many
have to
have
go seek them out. You have to find people who get paid to do this as a living. People who have made an
Are you going
entire
to filibuster,
career
Mr. Wu, or
of
can I
doing
answer the
this.
question?
People who have helped you spread hate and fear.
Members, please refrain from talking over each other during the debate so all members can hear what y'all have to say.
They come from far and wide, Mr. Wu, because they're bullied so terribly by the trans community. They all have stories, life-threatening stories of being bullied by the trans community. That's why they come from far and wide.
Mr. Toth,
Thank you,
we have
Mr.
people
Speaker.
come from our own state, trans people from your state, from your home, from your counties, from your districts, your neighbors, your friends, sometimes even your family members who have come to you, who have called you, who have testified, who have written letters, who wrote emails, who sent text messages saying, just let us live. Just let us have peace. Just leave us alone. That's all they want. They don't ask for any special rights. They don't ask for any special privileges. They just ask to be left alone. They just ask to be allowed to live. Why is that so hard?
Ms. Johnson in opposition.